Sorry. Kevin Baxter, LA Times. Thank you guys for doing this. Alex, this is the first World Cup, I think, for women, and certainly for you, where there's been a base camp where you guys haven't had to unpack, every couple of days. How has that changed things? Do you like it? And have either of you guys got out to see any of the sites in Auckland?
I love having a base camp. We were actually just talking about how great it is just being at one hotel, kind of taking over the entire hotel, having all of our recovery modalities available, having U.S. Soccer put in all the resources that we need to be successful. And not only do we have everything we need at the hotel, but the training field also / training center has modular units, locker room, a gym that they put up so we have every day. So I think it just makes us feel just a little more like a daily routine and less like a traveling circus, and that's a good thing.
Lakin Littman, Fox Sports. Alex, how big is this matchup against Netherlands, and are you guys approaching it like it's a World Cup final?
We approach every game like it's the biggest game, and this game is no different, but we have played Netherlands historically in very important matches, 2019, Olympics, even before then. So this is going to be an incredibly difficult matchup, very challenging. We watched the Netherlands the other night, and they have a lot of the same players as we played them in the World Cup 4 years ago. A little bit different of a formation, but still same personnel. And that's important for kind of team chemistry. So just knowing that, we know that we have to be at our best. And we're doing everything we can at the training field, in the meetings, watching video, doing everything we can. But this is going to be a very big matchup.
Hi, Alex. Steve Goff from the Washington Post. What are some of your memories from playing them last time, 4 years ago? Besides winning the championship, just some of the details that you had to deal with in that game against them.
Yeah, they're incredibly organized. They have a very expansive shape in the attack. They don't give you much space at all to receive and turn or get on the dribble. They're very quick to close down space. Their midfielders, Groningen, Van de Donk, Spitze, who maybe is playing in the back line now, are just very aggressive players. And they transition very quickly as well. Their defenders are very physical, very aggressive, and in pressing what's in front of them. So I know I'm going to have a lot of pressure on my back. And the list can go on for things that we know about them, but it comes down to our team chemistry and what we have to bring in the style that we've been working on over the last year or two under Vlatko, and we're feeling really good going into this match.
Alex, Annie Peterson from AP. 4 years ago, when you guys won, the fans were chanting equal pay. In the interim, you've won equal pay. Have you taken any time to kind of reflect on how far the team has come in those 4 years?
Oh yeah, just everything where we were in 2019 to where we are now is almost the same, but couldn't be more different. We were fighting a legal battle off the field and trying to also win over the world on the field, win over the world's hearts and minds and prove ourselves. This time around, we don't have to worry about anything off the field. All we have to worry about is putting the work in, doing everything we need to do from sun up to sundown to get our bodies and our minds right for the next game in front of us. And that feels really good. And now we have to do the work each game that we step foot on the field. U.S. Soccer has done a great job in supporting us, and that's not the case with a lot of the other federations around the world. And we know that. So as much as we'll continue to support all of the other players around the world who are fighting the battle that we fought for so long, the construction's really getting after it. We're in a very very good position right now, and so it's just about putting in the work.
I think Jeff's next, then Nancy. Hi, Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. My question's for Alex. Kind of piggybacking on Annie's question, is it liberating to not have to worry about that equal pay issue anymore? Or because you guys did kind of use it as a bit of a rallying cry last year, or I'm sorry, 4 years ago.
Anytime you take your focus off of playing, off of what's in front of you and what your job is, of course, that's taking focus away from what you need to be doing. That's distractions that are unnecessary. So not having distractions like that, like having to fight for equal pay, equal working conditions this time moving forward at all, ever again, it feels really good. And I hope that will soon be the case for all of the players around the world on the international level. If anyone has a question for Soph, please.
Oh, no, we're good. Keep asking Alex.
Boom, and then Tom. Go.
Kalika Mehta at DW. Alex, the question for you. Obviously, this is a game that was the final 4 years ago, but it seems in that amount of time, it's a lifetime for women's football. Could you just talk a little bit about what's changed for you personally in the last 4 years, but also what you see as the biggest changes for women's football in the last 4 years?
Yeah. Well, I'm a mom. I wasn't a mom then. So I have a kid. But I think that I'm just in a very different place than I was 4 years ago. I feel like I'm a better footballer, a better teammate, a mom. And I just think that women's soccer in general has grown so much in the last 4 years. The conversations that have been brought up, the questions that media are asking about equal pay, that was not something that was going around with all teams. It was really a focus on us. So I'm really glad that there are so many other focuses on other teams and the inequalities that the other players are facing. But in general, like Soph said, having this tournament be 32 teams for the first time, I think there was a concern over the quality within the tournament. I think that was squashed pretty quickly with the first games wrapping up in the next day or so. And I think it just is a testament to the exponential growth of the women's game in just the last few years.
Last one back there.
Hi, Alex. Amy Pickering, Stats Perform. I've been asking a lot of your teammates about the impact of Megan Rapinoe, and obviously you've been to every World Cup with her. So can I ask your thoughts on her importance to this team? And can I also ask about the support you're getting back home and the 20-foot statue of you that's currently on a nationwide tour?
Yeah. I'll start with Megan. She's had such a profound impact on this team, and for her to go out on her own terms is really unique and deserving. She's a special player and someone who, always gives just the effort that she holds people and herself accountable. She makes things happen out of nothing. We've saw that time and time again, starting with, when I firsthand saw that in 2011 in the quarterfinal against Brazil, where she gave Abby Wambach that beautiful assist. So things like that don't stop happening when Megan's on the field. And I think that's definitely unique to her, and the game will miss that aspect of her on the field, and also the fights that she stands up to off the field. You asked about the 20-foot statue of me and something else. I can't remember.
Fan support back home.
Oh, fan support. Thank you. It actually, just seeing all of the crowd videos and photos of people in all the different big cities coming together and watching the game, seeing that the viewership is already up from 4 years ago for our first group stage game. It's incredible, and we hope to continue to build that momentum and just see even more crowds building in our hometowns and the cities that we currently play for around the country. It's always great to see, because we feel so as connected as we are to the fans. We are a little disconnected being all the way around the world. So it means everything to have a lot of our families here and to hear from some of the ones that weren't able to make it back home.
Let's break it down.
Sophia, I'll ask you this one. With the exception of the games last night, most of the score lines have been very competitive, which is what you all have been saying was going to be the case at this World Cup. Can you just speak to what that reflects about the game, the international game these days, especially with some of the newer teams or the teams in maybe the next tier down that are playing bigger and better teams really tough?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we know, this is the first time the Women's World Cup has had 32 teams, and we're seeing that every game is really competitive. And we were talking about this last night. We're glad to see the CONCACAF teams come here and perform so well and, make a name for themselves, because every time we have to qualify and we're in the CONCACAF tournament, it's difficult, and I don't think people realize how hard it is to play some of those teams. So, like you mentioned, every game is really competitive, and that's what's so great about the World Cup. Anything can happen. Doesn't matter what ranking you are. Anything can happen. So it's so great for the women's game to see it growing. Thanks to Alex and so many of the women's national team players. They've really done such a great job at, being such a good representation of what, investing in women looks like. And now we're seeing that on the global stage.
JT.
Thanks, Aaron. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer. This one is also for Sophia.
Oh, nice.
In fact, I don't think you've played against the Netherlands before, if I was looking at
I haven't, no.
What have you heard about the two games in recent years that the U.S. played against them? And also, with the Vietnam game, that double outside back swap toward the end, how much of sort of a statement was that for you guys to show the depth of this team and the fact that you could do that and not have to worry much about it?
Yeah, well, exactly what Alex just said. I watched the game 4 years ago. I watch every U.S. game when I wasn't on the team, and so I know the Netherlands are a really good team. They have a lot of depth, and like Alex said, they don't give you a lot of space to do what you want to do. So we all know it's going to be a competitive game, and we're approaching this game like it's a championship, just like Alex said. That's how we approach every game. In terms of the outside back sub that you mentioned, the U.S. team is, we're one of the best teams, and we have so much depth. And so I was really thankful to get on the field that day. I wasn't quite sure exactly what was going to happen or what the game plan was, but to get the call over to get subbed in was exciting for me. But yeah, there are so many players on the team who don't get a lot of minutes who will be prepared if they're called upon.